that out of the way. That's brutal. Annoying, frustrating, infuriating. All the words to describe the Los Angeles Rams losing to the Carolina Panthers 38 to 28. 38. 31 to 28. Yeah, let's not make it bigger than it was. Um, guys, this, if you're a Panthers fan watching, congrats. Good game. I know how this works. You're coming in from our reaction. If you're a Rams fan watching, Ramley therapy. That's what this is. That's what this video is going to be here. First off, two things can be true here. The Panthers played an amazing game for that. Like, and again, hats off to the Panthers. Tip the hat, whatever you want to say. But the Rams, obviously, the Stafford pick six and the interception in the end zone in the first half was brutal. And then the fourth quarter fumble, where I firmly believe the Rams were going to go down the field and score a touchdown, take the lead, and win this game. And to have that end the way that it did is just so disappointing on so many levels for a team with Super Bowl aspirations, for a team that's vying for the number one overall seed. And ideally, obviously, the Rams win that game. But the reality is they didn't. The Panthers defense came up big at times. The real story here for the Panthers offense is their outside, zone run game. They were running it really well today. If we take a look here at the stats, Panthers had 358 total yards to the Rams 379, 164 rushing yards to the Panthers. The Rams ran it well too, 152, but obviously the turnovers really hurt the Rams here. If you look here, those 3 fourth down conversions for the Panthers, that shows they wanted this game. They wanted this game bad, and they did a good job. They especially like that fourth down to McMillan to get the touchdown for the lead. That was gutsy, right? So hats off to the Panthers for that. The Rams definitely didn't make enough plays to combat the game-changing plays that the Panthers had in this game. Time of possession, Panthers did dominate. They were able to have a couple of long, sustained drive that kept the Rams offense off the field. And there were obviously the Rams scoring drive in the fourth. They, and Puka Nacua made that insane catch, which I will still take full credit or give full credit. That catch was one of the best Puka Nacua catches I've ever seen. And it's a shame that it happened in a loss. And, I saw so many times the Rams could have won this game, but it's a shoulda, woulda, could have, and that ends up in an L, right? So this is unfortunate. It's the reality, and the Rams do take a back seat to the Bears for the number one overall seed in the NFC because the Bears won against the Eagles. And yeah, so let me just bring that up here 1 second. Yeah, so as you can see here, with that loss, the Rams dropped to the number 2 seed. The Bears are at the number 1 seed. Interesting enough, the Rams' playoff probability is 76%, where the Rams is still 96. There's still a lot of football left to be played. The number 1 seed is not unattainable for the Rams. There's still lots of football left to be played. It starts with you got to have a big get-right game against the Cardinals. And, I know that a lot of people are going to start saying, well, the Rams, they didn't win a game in November, their Super Bowl year. That's true. And you can say it's a trap game or whatever it is you want to call it against the Panthers. At the end of the day, the Panthers made the plays that they needed to win this game and, still compete for their division. The Rams just could not find a way to go into Carolina and get the win, even though there was opportunities to do it, but that fumble at the end, that was the real nail in the coffin, unfortunately, for this game here. I will still give my performances of the game. I think that Puka Nacua with that insane catch was there. I thought that Blake Corum and Kyron Williams were both running the ball really well. This is one of Blake Corum's best games of his NFL career. And Xavier Smith, especially in the first half, he had 3 catches, but that 151-yard completion, that was a big catch for the X Factor. So happy to see him have that kind of production. And if you're looking for some silver linings, I have this to offer, Ram fans. Number one, the Rams are still a good team. They are still competing for the Super Bowl. They got beat. They got, whatever expression you want to say. Number two, the Rams taking this L here, at the very end of November, November 30th. Bit of a reality check, right? The Rams have been feeling themselves. They've been on, number one of the power rankings kind of all season long for like the past couple of weeks. And obviously you want your team to win every game. You want every game to be a win for your team. And that was my hope and my prediction going into this. I'm not going to blame the weather. Obviously, both teams had to play in the elements. And to be honest, both teams scored a bunch in the rain. So I don't know how much we can really factor into the rain there. Emmanuel Forbes had a rough game. I think that this Rams D-line had a rough game, not getting pressure on Bryce Young. The Panthers did a good job of honestly not putting Bryce Young in situations where he got pressured a ton. I know, they sacked him a couple times, but the reality is the Rams did not get the consistent pressure they needed, and they weren't able to generate turnovers this game. So that moving forward, that's something that the Rams will need to do. They need to be able to win games without everything going their way, without getting the turnovers that they needed, right? So this is definitely a reality check, a gut check, and hopefully the players respond well. I do have faith in this coaching staff. I have faith in Sean McVay, Chris Shula, Mike LaFleur, and the whole team, Chase Blackburn. I have faith that the players of the Rams, they're high character guys, they're high grit guys, and that's going to be a long flight back to LA. And they're not going to take this sitting down lightly. This is a team, they know what their goals are, they know what they're capable of, and I believe that they're going to bounce back against the Cardinals next week. And then it does force them, they don't have that safety net or that cushion that they did have. If the Eagles win a game or now the Bears are in play for the number one seed also. So we'll see how it turns out. Kind of a side topic, but I want to just bring it up here is the Tankathon, and because the Falcons did lose today, so that's something of note. So the Rams pick does go up to the 9th overall pick, the pick that the Falcons traded to the Rams. So something to note that pick can still be a top 10 pick. So that's, again, at the end of the day, we want the Rams to win. We don't really care about the Falcons, but obviously it's kind of nice when they lose. That's going to do it for me in this video. I want to hear your thoughts, your comments. Again, Panthers fans, good game. Well-deserved win by the Panthers. And Ram fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment. Who are you frustrated at? Who are you annoyed with? And, ultimately, we'll see what happens next. I'll be having a live show on Wednesday on First Down Rams with my fellow Rams YouTuber, Rams House, and we'll talk about this game and, the Cardinals game next week. And then, of course, I will be live for the Rams versus Cardinals for a watch party next Sunday as well. As always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. That was a tough one.